Good evening, all. So, welcome to THiNC Institute of Design. I think this is after a short break, we are seeing each other. Okay, so today we will be discussing some questions on design exams, especially 2D, 3D rotation based questions. That is the main plan today. So, I think NID dates has been announced and the UCEED is yet to announce, and even NIFT days are also will be available soon. Okay, so from today onwards or from this month onwards, we were planning to start these kinds of videos, mainly focusing on design exams and their core topics. That is a important major plan which we have right now. So those who haven't subscribed our channel can subscribe it now, because we are coming up with similar kind of videos in the upcoming days. We will be solving questions, we will be discussing strategies, we will be discussing previous year questions. So all these things are in the pipeline, which is to be going to conduct in the upcoming weeks. Okay, so we will be having rigorous sessions, including like sprint. Okay, we have design sprint and all those things will be coming soon. So today we will be discussing a topic called rotation. Rotation is a very basic topic. When we take the case of NID or UCEED, I think even in your drawing topics, you may already had learned the basics of rotation. So we will be just revisiting some basics of rotation. First of all, we will look into 2D rotation. Then we will get back to 3D. Okay, so 2D to 3D and few questions of rotation-based question, different types of rotation-based question we are going to discuss today. That is our plan. And we only have a very limited time, so we'll try to discuss all the types which are going to be coming from this particular portion. Okay, so first of all, we can start with the welcome question. I'll share my screen. So the welcome question is nothing, it's just a diagnostic question type, or to introduce this particular topic. We'll be discussing a very simple question. I don't know, can I call it like a simple question? Because whenever I discuss this question, I won't get 100% right answer for that particular one. Okay, so anyway, we can have a look into the question. After that, we will be discussing basics, which can take you to the answer for this question, and answer for this question will be acting as the base for the rotation. So connecting these kinds of basics to a question, it will be more easy to grab, I think. That is why we are having an approach like this: question, related concept, and the related concept. See, usually we are doing it like this. We learn the concept and solve the question. But I think before learning the concept, we need to have some sort of common sense. We are here to develop the common sense, and we need to identify the setbacks over there. There's a gap in the common sense availed. So we need to bridge that gap, and that bridging process will be done by THiNC over here. And we are here to bridge all your common sense gaps in logical reasoning questions. So for the annotated PPTs, we will be annotating all these things. So for the annotated PPTs, you can contact the number provided in the chat, and I want your responses in the chat. Arnav, hello, Arnav, hello. Okay, I find a hello in the chat. Along with the hello, I want an answer in the chat. I want the odd one. Okay, so this is about an odd one question. So you guys can put your response in the chat. Who is the odd one over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I can zoom the question a little bit more, because I want odd one only. Okay, so let me add. So I want odd one. Who is the odd one, and what is the logic behind that odd one? And being the session today is mainly belongs to rotation, see, it is a great hint for this particular one. Okay, so it's a great hint. So who is the odd one? Okay, so I'm expecting your response in the chat. So you can keep your answers with you and you can put it in the chat, and we will be discussing. Now we are going to discuss the logic of this question first. Okay, so the logic of the question is like this. See, over here, one among the logics I'm going to discuss, because the question it has plenty of logics. So one of the logic we are going to discuss, and over here, see, this is outer. Okay, this is the middle, and this is the inner element. Okay, so we have three elements with us: outer, middle, and inner. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this outer element 0 degree anti-clockwise. You may ask, sir, if it is 0 degree anti-clockwise means 0 degree clockwise also you can choose. Definitely 0 degree clockwise or 0 degree anti-clockwise. Okay, that's not a matter. For the middle, I'm just having a 90 degree anti-clockwise rotation. And for the inner, I should have a 180 degree anti-clockwise rotation. Okay, this is the one logic of solving this question. Okay, this is the one of the RJD. This is one among the logics to solve this question. And I had mentioned, rotate these elements. How will you rotate these elements? That is the question. How will you rotate these elements is the question. Okay, so we got the logic. So now we need to learn to rotate. That is what we are going to do right now. So let's have a look over here, the concept of degrees, all the angles. You can have a look. Okay, so always have an idea about these angles is very much helpful in different sections of this particular exam. So over here, see, we can start with clockwise. 0 degree rotation, 45, 90, 135, 180. You can see that flow is happening in clockwise direction. Okay, so let's see how we will rotate a line. Let me take a line here. So we have a line which is present over here. Okay, so the line, you can call it like AB. You can call the line with the name AB. So AB is the line with us. So this is a AB. Okay, just focus on the line AB. So if you are told to make a 45 degree rotation, 45 degree, we're just making the rotation at centered over here. So 45 degree rotation is told to make over here. So that line will comes over here. Okay, that is a case of 45 degree. And the name's still like this AB. And if it is 180 degree rotation, then, sorry, if it is 90 degree rotation, then A will be here and B will be here. Okay, so this is 90 degree rotation. 90 plus 90, 180. Okay, you can see here. So this is 90 degree rotation, and just follow what happens to what is happening to a line in rotation. So line rotation is very much important. And over here, this is A, this is B. Okay, this is A and this is B. So again, another 45 degree rotation will take us to this. And now you can see that position of A is occupied by B and B is occupied by A. And you can call this 180 degree rotation as a flip. Okay, this has been flipped. When it is an 180 degree rotation, the things has been flipped. Okay, so this is how rotations are working. Okay, this is how rotation is working. And now we can take this inference. Now we can take this inference to the previous question, and we have a rotation in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so that is to pay attention. Anti-clockwise rotation. So 0 degree anti-clockwise. Let me redraw it. Let me redraw it. Outer anti-clockwise rotation, 0 degree. That means no change we need to introduce here. Okay, no change. See, we will draw exact like that. Next is the middle element. So this is the middle element. And let me take the coordinates. We are going to take a coordinate system. So over here, you guys could find, I'm just going to redraw that. So now it is focusing towards downward direction. See, I only draw these two lines over here. Actually, in the previous figure, we can see a number of angle lines. Okay, anyway, we are not going to draw all those because we only want 90 degree rotation. So over here, now it is focusing downward. Now it is focusing downward. We want an anti-clockwise rotation. Anti-clockwise rotation means we need to rotate it in this direction, and this particular one will be opening towards, you can call this west direction. Okay, if it is a direction map, you can call like west. See, actually we are not here for imagining all these things. We are trying to bypass difficult imaginations. Okay, so this is north, south, and sorry, this is east and this is west. Okay, so now this particular one, after anti-clockwise rotation, it will open towards east. It will open towards east. So we can redraw or reconstruct this particular one. So now it is open towards east, and you can see that both of them opened in the same direction. The outer one and the middle one opened in the same direction, and this is our 90-degree rotation. Now we are looking for the inner element. This is outer 90-degree anti-clockwise, inner 180-degree. I mentioned the same earlier. 180-degree rotation will create a flip. 180-degree rotation will definitely create a flip there. Now you can see here, I just highlighted, and now it is looking towards west direction. Okay, so 180-degree means this one, 180-degree anti-clockwise. So after that, after 90-degree, it will be opened in this way. After 180, it will be opening in this direction. See, all have been opened in the same direction. All have opened in the same direction. So this is a very basic question of this chapter, and from here we are learning how to rotate. So outer one, I will draw exactly same. Middle one is like this. Okay, so after 90-degree rotation, see, let me take it to here. So middle one is currently in this direction. It is currently in this direction. So after a 90-degree rotation, it will be coming here. Okay, it will be coming here. So now you can find. So after 90-degree rotation, it will be like this. So let me draw that. So just flip the inner one. Okay, if it is now in this direction, next time it will be in its opposite direction. Very simple. Okay, very simple. Apply the same in the option 3. Option 3, outer, middle, inner. Yes, it's exactly working. Here, outer, middle, inner, exactly working. Now comes to the first one. Outer, yes, fine. Outer is fine. Now comes to the middle one. Okay, if I take a coordinate system, middle one, now open towards right. After 90-degree rotation, it will open towards up. So it is going to be open like this. Now the things is being closed. It's not open, it's closed. See, let's take this particular element. See, this is looking upward. It will flip. See, you can now have a look into the options. And from here onwards, we are going to identify the right answer. And are now over here, right, option 1 is the odd one. Okay, so through this example question, we learned how to rotate. And now you guys can have a look into the question figure. And one more logic you can use. See, the middle we are only taking into consideration. See, if you give a 90-degree anti-clockwise direction, middle will be opened. See, over here, middle will be opened. If you give a 90-degree anti-clockwise, middle will be opened if you give a 90-degree anti-clockwise. Middle will be opened if you give a 90-degree anti-clockwise. And here, I will take another color. Here, middle will be open only after 90-degree clockwise rotation. If you make a 90-degree clockwise, then it is fine. It will be opened like this. Okay. All others are obeying 90-degree clockwise rotation, sorry, anti-clockwise rotation. And this is the one only interested in interested in clockwise rotation. Okay, so this is how rotations are working. Okay, this is how rotations are working, and I will clean this because you need to see the question. Okay, and while asking for the annotated copies, you need to get the question clear. That is why I just remove those things from the question. Okay, so I think now you guys have a idea about how the rotation is working. So now we can get into an old design question, and now you guys can solve this. I'm looking for your answers. So this is an old UC question. Okay, similar things you can expect for NID also. UCEED feels very tough. I think, okay, I'm not clear his name. Okay, UCEED feels very tough. Actually, there are few questions are tough. Okay, I'm agreeing that few questions are tough in UC. So you guys can put your answers in the chat in the same time, solve the question. Okay, so I'm just addressing a query. UC feels very tough. So what to do? See, in the beginning, every exam we felt difficult. Okay, and obviously in UC there are difficult questions, and those difficult questions are hard to crack. Okay, keep them aside. Those questions, a few will be coming. There are plenty of easy questions, including this one. This is an easy question. Okay, what makes it easy? Your familiarity to the question makes it easy. How will you get familiar to these questions? Okay, see, the exam is tough if you are not familiar. Okay, to the exam. So if you are familiar to the exam, that means you are familiar to the questions like this. Okay, if you do this question, you can find a similar questions in the last 2 or 3 year question papers. Okay, you can see the similar question and similar kind of instructions you can find. But if you are prepared for solving these questions through this single question, see, if you know to solve this question, you will be definitely getting one question in your exam regarding rotation. See, usually rotation questions will be there in UCEED exam, at least 1 to 2 questions, and how they are expressed in that question paper will be different. Sometimes it will be in odd one, sometimes it will be available in resultant figure. Okay, rotating and getting a resultant figure. And statement questions like this, like the instructions will be provided, and you need to work according to those instructions. Okay, so different types of questions, and if you practice 1 or 2 questions of the same type, you will be definitely able to solve the questions. And you need to have right techniques also. Okay, right techniques also. So subscribing to our channel, and you'll be getting notifications of the videos which we will be uploading. So those things will be giving a sort of practice. Okay, not only from our channel, you can seek the help of each and every channel available. Okay, knowledge should grow. Okay, so for growing those knowledge, you need to collect as much as logics and common sense in case of this particular exam. Okay, and for your queries, you can directly contact the number provided in the chat, and those people can directly contact me. So if any doubts regarding questions on all these things, you can take their help. Okay, so we are here to help you at any time. Okay, don't worry regarding those things also, and annotated copies of these things will be available by texting to that particular WhatsApp number, and you can make a collection of these kinds of things. Okay, not only from this channel, every channel you should collect it. So I'm getting few responses like A and C. Sorry, option D and option C. These were those I got. So let's have a look. Rotate the figure clockwise 90 degree. See, clockwise rotation. Okay, clockwise rotation. So there is a tip for this question. Use the options as much as possible, because understand the examiner who made this question. So he will be, it is difficult for him to make the options. So he will first of all get a picture like this, and then he also perform the same operations in his system or the computer. Okay. So yeah, Arna, very good, very good. So these kinds of tips are going to help students to solve this. Unless you just imagine everything and you will draw every step, this will ruin your time as well as your career. Okay, so every time you should be work smart, and and we will be providing methods to solve it in a smarter way. So over here, just look into a straight line because we are looking for something in an easy way. So just look for that straight line. See, clockwise 90 degree. That means clockwise is in this way. So this particular line will be like this. Okay. So just look for the options. See, option C, we can find that this line on the left. Okay. So after rotating 90 degree, I'm just looking other spots also. Yeah, fine. After rotating 90 degree, you can find one similar to option C. Okay. After rotating clockwise for 90 degree, we can find something like this. And flip along the vertical axis. That means 180 degree rotation. Flip along the vertical axis through its center, a vertical flip. So the line which I had drawn on the left side should comes to right side. Okay, should comes to right side. Now you can look for option B and D for the same. What will be the result after flipping along the vertical axis? That is what we are going to look now. So option B or D. See this portion. This portion should goes to left side. Okay. And this portion should goes to right side. That is what we want. So those two things has been happened in option D. Okay. In option D. So flip along the vertical axis, passing through its center will be giving you a picture like option D. You guys can also have a close look. Okay, you guys can also have a close look. Any objections, you guys can put it in the chat also. We can have a detailed discussion on this. Okay, so now we just reached option D. So option D will be a vertical flip. Okay, a vertical flip, and next step is a horizontal flip. So horizontally flipping what? Horizontally flipping what? That is the question. So just a second, once again, from the beginning onwards, we just chosen this particular straight line over here. We just made a 90 degree rotation. So it was comes to the left, and after flipping, it has comes to right, and we observed, okay, clockwise rotation, and we have observed that in option C and a flipped figure of, need to have a look. So flipped figure of the option C, you can spot it in option D. So flipped figure of option C or the mirror image of option D. Mirror image of option D is enough for a vertical flip. See, this is how we are integrating the things which we had learned earlier. So mirror image we had learned. 180 degree rotation, it is difficult to me. Talk a vertical flip through the mirror image. 180 degree rotation, forget it, take a vertical flip. Okay, see, we have solution for everything. So over here, next we are looking for a flip in this way. Next we are looking for a flip in this way, because option D we need to horizontal flip. Okay, option D we need to horizontal flip. So horizontal flip, how a horizontal flip will be happening here? So these portions will be going up and these portions will be going down. Okay, so the line will be on the right side itself. So since the line need to be on the right side, you can remove two options. Now the doubt is between option B and D. Why do I have a doubt? We are going to flip option D. So it will definitely option D not. So intelligently you can reach option B. So B is the right answer. Okay. Okay. So option B is the right answer. Dharmendra, you are not that much late if you have the common sense. Okay, if you have a common sense and ability to solve these things, it's not too late. You can practice questions. Okay, you can practice questions and you can easily solve this exam, or you can easily crack this exam. Okay, because we only have a very, you guys can solve this question. Okay, you only have a very limited number of topics, especially these topics are based on purely logic, and that logic is very much connected to common sense. Okay, common sense, already you guys will be having a sort of common sense, and common sense will be developing in course of time by solving questions. Okay, so first of all, you solve as much as previous questions, okay, of UCEED, and identify your weaker areas, and you can avail questions from CEED also. CEED and UCEED is having similar pattern questions, so you'll be getting a plenty of questions. And you can, what about syllabus completion and sketch practice? Syllabus completion, actually I'm taking logical part. Okay, so syllabus completion of the logical part is not that much difficult one. Okay, but doing maximum questions is the key for the logical area. And sketch practice, I'm not a person to comment on that, because drawing faculties are there, they will be definitely give you a solution. You can use that particular number to get an answer, or you can stay tuned to this channel, because drawing faculties will also be coming live in this channel by this week or by the next week. Okay, anyway, soon they will be also coming. So how's that question? See, this is an old UC question. Okay, this is an old UC question. Now you guys can solve. Okay, see, a perspective view of an object is shown. The object is rotated 180 degrees around the y-axis when viewed from a point on the positive y-axis towards origin, and then similarly rotated 180 degrees around the z-axis. Which of the following perspective views will be result of the rotations? Assume positive x and y axis point in the direction of the viewer. Okay, so I think we need to get into some basics of 3D rotation. See, earlier we just rotated a line and learned all those things. Now you can find a GIF over here. So how clockwise and sorry, x-axis we can start. So x-wise rotation, see how clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation is happening in x-wise. Just look into that square, which is a perpendicular. That square is a plane, and x-axis is perpendicular to a particular square. You can find here. So x-axis is perpendicular to a particular square over here, and rotation along x-axis means rotating it, making that x-axis perpendicular to a plane. Okay, clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation, you can have a look. See, similarly, you can find the y-axis rotation also. So save this video. Those who like the video, definitely like it. Save this video, and even if you like also, this will be available in your list. And you can look into these rotations a number of times. So it will be imprinted in your mind. So you can easily rotate things. See the direction in which you can find a square, and that square having that y-axis as a perpendicular one. Okay, so you can see how that square is rotating, and that makes the entire object to rotate. See, next is along z axis. That is one among the important one. Okay, so the square at the top, and that z axis perpendicular to the square at the top. Okay, so this is how we are rotating it in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. And if you have a doubt, imagine a clock over that square. Okay, for anti-clockwise and clockwise, you can imagine a square over there. Okay, so I think now we can get into the question. See, over here, we were discussing about a plane square. Even in that 3D figure, I told you to look into a square piece. See, here also I'm repeating the same. See, assume the axis are passing like this. So this is X, this is Y, this is Z. Just look into a single element. See, this particular element. Okay. And this particular leg is connected to that element. See, just take these things into consideration. So first of all, rotated 180 degrees around the y-axis. Okay, around the y-axis, we are going to rotate in this direction. So this particular line will comes to left side. Okay, now it's on the right side. It will comes to the left side, and this particular thing will be down. Okay, it will be after a 180-degree rotation, it will be something like this. Okay, it will be something like this. This is the top view of this particular one after 180-degree rotation. Okay, after 180-degree rotation, this is the top view of this particular one from through the Z axis. Okay, so just focus on these two elements. Okay, simply focusing on these two elements, we can solve. So next step, rotate it along Z axis. Okay, rotate it along Z axis. So rotating it along Z axis, 180 degree. 180 degree rotation along Z axis means simply a flip. Now it is open towards left. Next time, after flipping, it will be opened towards right. Okay, opened towards right. Just look into the options. Which is the record option? Okay, which is the record option? Simply option A. Simply option A. Focusing on an element. Okay, actually this is a plane. Focusing on a plane, you can solve the question. Okay, and you can look into those GIFs once again to get that direction of rotation. So it's simply option A. So this is how we are rotating 3D objects. Okay, this is how we are rotating 3D objects. Now comes to this question. So options is or are simple rotations of the figure given below. So this figure we are rotating. So this is another kind of question in rotations. Another kind, another type. So now we can take a shortcut. So for solving this, we need to take a reference. We need to take a reference. I just taken this reference. You can make your preferences while taking references. So over here, you guys could see this is purple, green, purple, red. Again, green, red, sorry, that's light green, red and dark green, then purple. So first of all, in the first option, this is what we are looking for. Okay, now check purple, dark green, then it is a blue. Blue is not part. How it comes here? Option A is eliminated. Okay, we are not going to rotate in mind. We use options cleverly. Okay, we have a plenty of options. Use it cleverly, solve the question. So next step, yeah, focus over here. See, outer, purple, okay, green, okay, purple, okay, red, okay, then light green, then red, then green, then purple, okay. This element is okay. So just look for, see, you can call this A and this B side. Okay, so over from this figure, this is A and this is B. So left of the B is green. So why its left is not green? Actually, right is green. Option B is wrong. Very simple. See over here, now this is the focus area. Focus area is ready. Purple, green, red. Then, yeah, fine. So you can call this as B. Purple, green, red, then again green. Opposite. Purple, green, purple, red. Okay, fine. Left side. Blue. This is A. Left side of the blue. Left side is blue. And over there, left side is blue. And right side. Right side is green. Okay, fine. Right side is green. So now let's check into that blue. Blue, purple, yellow. Where is yellow? This yellow. I can't find here. It's blue. So C is wrong. We are look into option D because that is the only option available after eliminating everything. So option D is right. Okay. So option D is right over here. So that's it regarding rotations. So now over here, Arnav asked how to manage time in UCEED. Time management. First of all, just get an idea about all the basic facts. Then use a clock, okay, like a stopwatch for solving questions. And identify solvable and non-solvable. That means time-consuming questions. Okay, that is the first thing. That will come through the experience of solving questions. So identify which questions are solvable. So these kinds of questions are very easily solvable, and in a quicker way, you guys could solve the question. So in that sense, you should look into the question. So time management only you can practice. So I think you guys got an idea about rotation. So one among the question for the rotation is being over here, and this is a multiple select question. Okay, so you can put the answers in that WhatsApp number provided and get corrected over there, and you can put it in the comment section also. It's a multiple select question, and you guys can do it like a homework, okay, or an assignment. So we'll be coming back in the next session with similar questions, and for course related queries, you can contact in the number provided in the chat, as well as those who haven't subscribed our channel, they can subscribe it right now. And if you like the videos, you can like it and keep those videos in your list. It will help you in the upcoming days for preparing for the exam. So thank you all. Bye all. Good night.